Welcome to this tutorial on external name service in Kubernetes. In this video, we'll explore how external name services use DNS CNAME records to map internal service names to external DNS names. This is an essential concept for integrating external resources with your Kubernetes cluster. External name is a special service type in Kubernetes. Unlike other service types, it maps to an external DNS name rather than selecting pods within the cluster. When a pod queries this service, it returns a CNAME record with the external hostname. The important thing to understand is that no proxying or forwarding occurs at the cluster level. The DNS resolution happens directly, and the client connects to the external service on its own. Let's understand how DNS CNAME resolution works with external name services. When a pod looks up the service name, the cluster DNS returns a CNAME record pointing to the external DNS name. The client then resolves that external DNS name to get the actual IP address. This two-step process is transparent to the application, making it easy to integrate external services. Here's a basic example of an external name service definition. The API version is v1 and the kind is service. We give it a name, in this case, external-db. The spec section contains two important fields. Type is set to external name, and external name specifies the fully qualified domain name. Here it's database.example.com. This configuration creates an alias so that pods can access the external database using the service name. From inside a pod, accessing the external service is straightforward. Simply use the service name in your application, for example, curl http://external-db. The Kubernetes DNS automatically resolves this to database.example.com. Your application doesn't need to know the actual external hostname, making it easier to change the backend without modifying application code. External name services are useful in several scenarios. First, connecting to external databases, such as managed database services running outside your cluster. Second, referencing third-party APIs with consistent naming, allowing you to abstract external dependencies. Third, service migration, where you gradually move services into the cluster while maintaining the same access patterns. These use cases make external name valuable for hybrid architectures. External name services have several unique characteristics. They do not get assigned a cluster IP address like other service types. They cannot use pod selectors because they don't route to pods within the cluster. There is no proxying involved. Traffic goes directly to the external endpoint after DNS resolution. Finally, they work purely at the DNS resolution layer, making them lightweight but limited in functionality. There are important considerations when using external name services. First, the external DNS name must be publicly resolvable or accessible from within the cluster network. Second, there are no built-in authentication or encryption mechanisms, so you need to handle security at the application level. Third, observability is limited compared to internal services. You won't have the same level of metrics and tracing for traffic to external endpoints. Keep these limitations in mind when designing your architecture.
If you like this video, hit that like button and don't forget to subscribe. Visit codelucky.com for more such useful content.